friends. Today I have a fun project for you. I am working on my prompt for the 2024 Halloween Journal Challenge by Kia Creates. I decided to be a little bit extra for my prompt this year and do an entire journal inspired by my prompt, which is Dark Forest. I'm super obsessed with the vibes of Dark Forest. First of all, I live in a very green place. I am a practicing witch, and combining the two is just my favorite thing ever. So I have a bunch of favorite scrapbooking papers from my collection. And this year I wanted to really focus on using up my stash because I have a lot of stuff and I'm sort of reaching this point in my creativity, I suppose, where I'm tired of seeing things just sit around and not be used. And I love all of these papers so much that I just decided that we should make a whole journal dedicated to this style of imagery and like art journaling. Now, I am a procrastination queen, and I waited a bit long to get this video cobbled together for you. So I don't exactly know just how much of this process, for one, is going to make it into the final video. Two, how many actual like journal spreads that I'm going to be able to complete for you on camera in this video. I'm going to do my best to complete at least one and speed through bits of the process making as appropriate, because I know people's time is valuable. But I wanted to share with you in a super like authentic way. And so yeah, I just thought that I would show you what I'm going to come up with. And you might notice the first page on our stack here is a full 12 by 12 sheet. These can be pretty tricky for me personally to use up because this is such a cool design. And while I could probably throw this up on my wall and call it a day, honestly, there's also duplicates of all of these big, beautiful papers. So my thought is let's use one for the time being, and potentially I'm looking at like interactive, at least a couple pages, right? Because you saw some of these bigger pages here. I don't want to cut any of this out. I want to be able to showcase it in some way. We're gonna make some signatures, so I know how big to cut the cover, which is just going to be some plain old chipboard that I have left over from a giant sketch pad from my college days. And then I also have some spooky fabrics for the cover design. Yeah, I've got some cool like leftover scraps from other projects that I thought might be fun. Kind of goes with the theme, which is just like dark, spooky, witchy. This one I think goes the best and is a top contender because one of the papers back there had some bats on it as well. And then what else do I have? I have a little scrap from an old quilt, maybe. I don't know. I just pulled things out of my stash that need to get used up. And this one's pretty cool too. I'm gonna turn on the time-lapse portion now and just create, let you watch, do some music. Maybe I'll come back in with the voiceover as appropriate. So, all right, I'll catch you in the next portion. apologize for the toddler sounds. She might even make a cameo because she's right here next to me. But we are going to press onward. So here I have my pages, mostly cut. So what I decided to do is, for most of them, is just fold them or cut them in half. So these are 6 by 12 sheets because I thought doing kind of a smaller size would be better. Would you like to show your unicorn project to the camera? Let's show my friends. Look, we're coloring a little unicorn stuffed animal and she loves it. She's having so much fun. Okay, go ahead. Keep on coloring. So most of them I did that. I also did the original idea that I was talking about before where I cut it up to the middle fold so that I can have this whole sheet and then not have, how do I explain it? Like this will still be within the whole book. So I can work on a 12 by 12 little scene if I want to. Something like this I probably would keep pretty simple and maybe just do a quote or something along those lines. So I have doubles of everything since I cut it all in half. And my thought was with these blank sheets, I could potentially use some of the offcuts again. And then aside from beginning the cover, I also have some of these cut apart sheets from the paper collections that I use at least as many as I can because truthfully I find this part of the scrapbooking collections the hardest to use. I have so many of them floating around and typically I will just chop them up and put them in Happy Mail for people, but it's so nice, honey. We'll see how I go on. But they all match the theme, so that's pretty cool. So I think what I will do now is leave you and prep my chipboard, pick my fabric for the cover, cut all my cut apart sheets up, cut my ephemera sheets up, pull out some stickers and make kind of a little kit, and then we'll be ready for our first Journal With Me spread. Yay! Sorry about that. What I was saying is that I was going to cut a piece of this fabric for basically some book cloth to reinforce the spine of my book and to basically cover up the gaps that will happen as I bind the signatures in, because you have to have a little bit of space between each one. And I am not going to do a Coptic stitch on this because I want to try to give myself room to make it a little bit chunky if I want to. So that's the plan. I'm just going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch for all of the signatures. So shortly I will need to make a guide so that I know where to poke the holes in the spine, which is all like super basic info if you've ever made a journal before. But I will go ahead and get this glued down and then talk about, or think about, I guess, the plan for which papers I want to use for the end papers. I'm going to be gluing down some end papers, about 1/8 of an inch of space around all the edges here. And then we're going to be making an expanding pocket on each side of the cover, which is pretty easy to do. You just grab yourself a scrap of around 1 inch, fold it in half, stick it folded side out on the 3 edges, and then there's not so much stress on the pocket as you stick things inside. And I may do a little bit of a round cutout here, which makes it easier to pull things out. And that's about it. I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'll come back and bind it another day. So I will see you very soon. So I don't have as much time as I was expecting to right now, but I wanted to show you how all the signatures look bound in. Here's my spine. As you can see, I'm not perfect at, poking a million different holes like perfectly evenly spaced apart, but I don't care. It still looks pretty good, especially from a distance. And then I realized I only had 2 book corners that I wouldn't have minded if I had 4, even in the different colors, because I think it kind of looks patinaed. So I've got to think about whether I want to pick up a new pack of these for this journal, because I do think it would look pretty dang cool if you look here. And then I was going to do this book plate, but at the very end. And as you can see, it doesn't open flat. I'm going to have to put something right here as I work on each spread, but that's okay. But yeah, let's take a look at what all the signatures look like all together. I'm so happy with this. This idea that I had for the full 12 by 12 was just something I thought of like on the fly. On camera, I cannot believe that it worked, because normally my experiments take a bunch of failed tries before something works out like it does in my head, so that's always fun. And I have so many ideas for filling up these pages with some printable ephemera, with some stickers from my stash. Maybe I'll try some painting, or like even watercoloring. Like, I kind of imagined this spread to be watercolored. Maybe do some like green magic right here, even like an actual spell. Record it. And again, you just want to put something underneath here. It might be a little fiddly, but I think I could do it. I wanted to show you there's just one quick little example of how I've used scrapbook paper as like a journal background page before. I made this book a couple of years ago now, and my confidence wasn't what it is today, and yet I still feel like I discovered something about the possibility of scrapbook paper using or making this particular journal. So I slapped a couple stickers on here from my favorite sticker book and have plans for continuing to add some stuff here. But as you can see, this is some of the same paper that's in this new book that we just made. with some like jelly papers. Yeah. Lots of fun things. And the other thing I did in this one is beforehand, I scraped paint onto all the white backs of the scrapbook paper so that I could like write on top of it or whatever. And I really love the way that that turned out. So there's lots of possibilities that I think this is a very underrated medium, especially in the journaling community. So highly recommend if you've got some, especially a big hoard like me. So that's as far as I got in this book, but this is sort of the idea that inspired this one. Hello. So I went ahead and did one little thing in here just so I could show you and introduce the first few pages that I was planning to work on. I had this really awesome ephemera piece from Molly Roberts' Patreon that I've been saving because I knew that I wanted to showcase it in a way just like this. So I'm really happy to finally give it a beautiful place to live in a cool notebook that sort of fits the theme. I also went through and my stash and found these stickers that my sister sent me that were just from Amazon, and I think it's really cool how this collection really has like a story to it in itself as well, and I'm very inspired by that, if you can't tell, in the way that I work. So I thought that I would go ahead and search through these and maybe do some sort of like apothecary type composition on this next, the center of the signature page. And then I also had this piece from the paper collection, and I love the fact that this is kind of warning you to have discretion when it comes to entering the woods, and that I love that this could be like, I'd turn back if I were you, insinuating like darkness, or it could be protecting something too. So I love this as, you know, on these first couple of pages. I thought that would look really cool right there. And then I love the fact that there's some bit sticking up here. Okay, so if I haven't warned you yet, I work super chaotically. I just can't help it. So here we are. This is where I have landed, and I would say that this is almost done, but I wanted to do a few things to finish it up on camera for you, just because I'm trying. I really am trying to share my process with you. So here we go. And I added this little like love potion type dealio up here, and I want to add some line work up here. And lastly, I added a couple things to the back of this because I also want to make this a flip. And as you open it out, I have this potion to heal the faint of heart sticker with these little medallion type stickers running down the bottom. And my idea was that I could add like what might heal my own faint of heart as part of this journal spread. So that's pretty much everything. I'll attach these two with some clear tape so that it doesn't interfere with anything else. And then I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like when it's all done. So yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me here. Let's finish this spread up together. Hey guys, so this is going to be the last spread that I do on camera for you because we have run out of time, unfortunately. But I thought this would be a really fun one to end on because we have landed on this page here, the big one. And I thought it would be really cool for you to see me work in this spread, just because I know the size can be maybe a little bit intimidating, and you can see how I'm going to overcome these bits that hang off the page and to just fill up the space. So I've got my pile of goodies right here, and I have some ideas that I worked through not on camera just to save time. So I am going to go ahead and get started, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining me if you've made it this far. I really enjoy putting together these long format watch me work in my journal videos. So thank you so much and enjoy. is as far as I was able to get in my little dark forest journal, and I wanted to share with you what I got up to. So as you can see, I was not able to fill my pocket yet, but don't worry, we've got plenty of stuff to potentially stuff this with later on. I think I might add some sort of something here on the first page. So then here is our little witch's apothecary with my personal potion for healing the faint of heart. My ingredients here. Initially I was gonna write a little bit more, but I realized I was out of a white pen and I only had this metallic pen, so I just went with some more like broad concepts, and I actually really like how all the colors tie together, and it's personally meaningful too. And then we've got another little flip up here that kind of disguises that it's the witch's magic spells and potions. On the next page, we've got some simple collage. One of those pieces from the paper pack. I used some texture paste here. I was going to go back in and paint these gold to kind of tie it together, but I really like the way that the white pops off of the page. Looks really neat. And then I did this little transparency from Tim Holtz. And then we move into the flip down page for the 12 by 12 sheet. I did some more simple collage here with a magazine image from Enchanted Living. This page I was really proud of, actually. This was, the owl images were from a vintage book page that was gifted to me. And initially I was just going to use some cardstock that looked inky like this, and I wasn't 100% happy with it. So I decided to just do a quick little watercolor splash myself, and it turned out so pretty. I used some metallic, used a little piece of pet tape up here, which I don't love the glare compared to the rest of the page, but I thought it kind of tied this little border that I stenciled all together. And then I'm gonna do it the flip downs one at a time, because I just think visually it makes more sense to break it up. So I have these little ephemera bits that were kind of related to the Salem witch trials, and it just reminded me of all the witches that came before me who, you know, throughout folklore and things have lived in, you know, the spooky enchanted forest. So loved the way that that came together. And then on this side, I kept it pretty simple. Just some Sticky Club stickers and a little header from the paper pack. I kind of thought, you know, let the paper shine through. That would be cool. So that is as far as I was able to get in my journal, but I have so many more ideas and plans to fill everything in. I know I was telling you guys at the beginning, this Deadly Nightshade page, I just need to watercolor it. And then write about like magical correspondences and things over here. So I've got so many ideas. I can't wait to fill this up, and I'll still share if I keep on working on it. I will still share on my YouTube channel and my Instagram, so make sure you follow me at the Crafty Capricorn on Instagram and Crafty Capricorn on YouTube. So thanks so much for including me again this year. It's such an honor to create this for you. I hope you enjoy. Make sure to tag me if you make one. So thanks so much, and happy spooky season. Bye.